That's great. I love that you go to LA. And did you feel like just everything was clicking? Like, I know you're like deep in this story of one after the other, but it sounds to me like relative to how everything felt before, at least in how you're describing it, like everything's now like, okay, it makes sense. Okay, this is easier. It's not so much resistance moving in this direction. How did that feel as you, as the creative?
Yeah, it was kind of a relief because I was just excited that something seemingly was happening in a progressive manner.
Yeah, that is good.
I was like, I'll try this. Okay, I got here. I'll try this. Okay, so at the very beginning, there was like a spurt of things that opened my eyes of the possibility that like if you commit to something, you believe the delusional thought, honestly, that like maybe I can move to LA and be a songwriter / producer, and maybe it's possible. I saw a couple things early on that were like, this is possible, which I was very lucky to see because I also know friends that, sometimes it takes years and years and years and years. And then 10 years later, something finally clicks. So luckily I had something click from the bat. The band came over. We wrote like, I think 8 songs on their album or 7 songs on the album in the garage. And they trusted us, luckily. I don't know why, but yeah, we were just like on the laptop and like I had like an AC unit like hanging out the window. It was like some days it was like 100 degrees in there.
You have photos of this place?
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to find photos of this place. This is a great story. Keep going about the temperature, but this sounds amazing.
So, so their album came out and then I was me and my buddy Dan and our other buddy were like, okay, I think we have enough money to rent our own place now. So we found a house in North Hollywood that us 3 moved into. So we were doing some projects together and some projects I would be going to the studio to work with this, the producer E-Man that I was signed to. So, and he was always like a really amazing person. We're still buddies to this day. And, he was always like very supportive of me doing stuff on my own, doing stuff with him, doing whatever. So that was also really inspiring to see someone that, was actually supportive of wanting someone to excel at what they were doing rather than, being a mentor and being like, you needed to do it like this, like, or getting mad or trying to control things a lot, which I've heard from people that have had mentors in other areas.
He was a good mentor, it sounds like, yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So it was awesome. So we just kind of, we worked together for a while. And I lived in this place in North Hollywood. And then another year or so went by and I realized that like, yes, writing music for other people is also very hard. Some year, like a year or 2 later, I didn't have too many things come out, but I was really excited to be in the writing process and the producing process rather than just like an additional entity to someone else's music. So
something to call your own, even if, it's not you're not the person singing it or performing it. It's still, you had such a big role in this song.
Correct. Yeah. So it's like, and it's collaboration, so it's always a good time. So yeah. So after that, I guess this group, the guy I was working with, E-Man, he was like, you should see if there's like a band or something that we can like form and like have them release music. So I hit up my friend Brian Dales from the Somerset, who I knew lived in LA, and he was very socially connected to a lot of musicians and people. And I thought he would maybe know someone. So I said, hey man, do you know any like I was looking for like a male pop band at the time. So I was like, do you know any like pop singers that have a great voice that are maybe like, haven't figured out their path or maybe are undiscovered or whatever. And he goes, there's this kid I've known for a couple years, Tony, that's really good. Here's his YouTube. So I show E-Man his YouTube, and the first thing that pops up is a video of him. I think it was covering Bruno Mars, him and his friend Malcolm recording a cover of a Bruno Mars song. And Malcolm was a rapper and Tony was a singer. And E-Man was like, yo, this is it. This is the band, the rapper and the singer. And I was like, all right. So I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I'm friends with Brian. I was seeing if you wanted to come to the studio. So me, E-Man, and 2 other writers, this writer, Evan Bogart, and this other writer, Lindy Robbins, who are amazing people. We wrote this song called Classic. That was a song, as I told you before, for pitch. We didn't know who was going to record it. So we had sent it out. The label for One Direction had shown interest. A couple other artists had shown interest about this song, but no one had recorded it yet. So we brought the guys, Tony and Malcolm, who formed MKTO, eventually formed MKTO, to the studio, and we played them some songs, and we're like, yo, do you want to like sing these songs? And they're like, yeah. So we cut them on a couple songs, and one of them was the song Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And E-Man and Evan and his buddy Evan were kind of like running the label side of the ship. I was kind of more in the creative zone, helping out making the music. And they got him signed to Columbia, and they put out one song that did really well in Australia, but it didn't really react here. And then the second song they put out was the song Classic that turned out to be a hit here. So it was a very interesting kind of path that I wasn't too familiar with. But yeah, and I ended up doing pretty much their entire album. They were more of like a pop, just like a pop duo, pretty poppy songs. So that was like kind of a really cool experience, seeing something grow to that point. And that was in 2014.
I love hearing your path up to this point, and I love keep hearing it. But the thing that really sticks out to me is that you just can't figure this stuff out ahead of time. And I think that if there's something somebody can take away from this, it's like you said it, you were doing with your hands. I know people can't see unless they're watching the video, but you were saying, you did one thing and then you did the next thing. And you just kind of are like, all right, what's the next thing that's going to progress me in some way forward? I don't know where it's going to take me, but what can I keep doing to increase my luck or increase the people I work with or, move forward? And I think that's so cool because that same principle is so applicable in every area of the music industry. There's no map. You just do you.